If you pick the right hobby today, 6 months from now your life will feel different. Not because the world changed. Because you did. Not louder. Not flashier. Not pretending to be confident. But steadier. More grounded. Harder to shake. Most people underestimate how much their daily practices shape their character. They think change comes from motivation, inspiration, or a sudden breakthrough. It doesn't. Change comes from what you repeatedly return to when no one is watching. Tonight, I want to talk about hobbies. Not as entertainment. Not as distractions. But as training. Because one of these hobbies has the power to reshape your discipline, your self-control, and the way you carry yourself in the world. And most people avoid it, not because it's ineffective, but because it feels uncomfortable at first. Stay until the end. Most people fill their free time without thinking about what it's doing to them. They call it busy. They call it relaxing. They call it normal. But in reality, they are rehearsing weakness. They move from screen to screen, task to task, noise to noise, without ever training their attention, their patience, or their ability to stay with discomfort. Over time, this shows up in subtle ways. Shorter tempers. Scattered thinking. Inconsistent discipline. Words spoken without intention. Decisions made emotionally, then justified later. Nothing dramatic. Just slow erosion. And because everyone around them lives the same way, it feels acceptable. That's the danger. When weakness is common, it starts to feel normal. A small percentage of people live differently. Quietly. While everyone else treats hobbies as escape, they treat them as practice. They don't talk much about it. They don't announce it online. They simply show up, repeatedly, to something that demands focus, restraint, and effort. They understand something most don't. You don't rise to discipline under pressure. You fall to the level of your training. What you do in your free time doesn't sta. Why there? It leaks into how you speak, how you decide, how you handle stress, and how seriously people take you. This is why hobbies matter more than motivation ever will. I'm going to walk you through 10 hobbies that look ordinary from the outside, but quietly rebuild character on the inside. One of these, in particular, is avoided by most people. Not because it's difficult to understand, but because it forces honesty. It exposes habits you've been hiding from yourself. It feels uncomfortable at first. That's exactly why it works. Stay until the end. The Stoics believed character is shaped through daily practice, not intention. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that each day is an opportunity to act in accordance with reason, not impulse. Epictetus taught that we don't control outcomes, only our actions. In simple terms, your habits are your philosophy in motion. Stoicism isn't about withdrawing from life. It's about training yourself to meet life without excess emotion, excuses, or self-deception. A hobby, when chosen correctly, becomes a controlled environment for this training. Boxing isn't about violence. It's about composure. When your body is under stress, your breath shortens, your mind speeds up, and your instincts want to take over. Boxing trains you to stay present in that moment. To think clearly while your heart is racing. To respond instead of panic. Over time, this changes how you handle conflict, stress, and confrontation outside the gym. You stop reacting automatically. You pause. You choose. That pause is power. Journaling removes the ability to lie to yourself. When thoughts stay in your head, they blur together. When they're written down, patterns appear. Repeated excuses. Repeated frustrations. Repeated decisions that lead nowhere. This hobby builds discipline in language. You learn to describe reality accurately instead of emotionally. That alone sharpens judgment. Seneca believed self-examination was essential to progress. Not harsh self-criticism, but clear seeing. Clarity precedes control. Strength training teaches a simple lesson: effort produces results, and shortcuts don't work. There is no negotiation with resistance. You either show up and do the work, or you don't. Over time, this builds trust in yourself. You begin to believe your own commitments because you keep them. That belief changes posture, tone, and presence long before it changes appearance. Calisthenics removes external support. No machines. No assistance. Just control over your own body. This trains patience. Progress comes slowly. Frustration appears often. And that's the point. You learn to stay composed while failing repeatedly without drama or self-pity. Humility becomes strength. Chess punishes impulsiveness. Every rushed move creates consequences you can't undo. Over time, this conditions restraint. You begin to pause before acting, not just on the board, but in conversation, decisions, and conflict. This habit directly affects how you speak. Fewer unnecessary words. More intention. Quick pause. If this is helping you think more clearly about how discipline is built, subscribe. Not for motivation, but for reminders that self-control and inner peace are skills, not traits. Now keep going. Because the next one is the most avoided. This is the one most people skip. It feels awkward because it exposes insecurity. Learning to speak clearly, calmly, and directly forces you to confront habits you've hidden behind humor, silence, or aggression. Communication as a hobby means practicing restraint in language. Saying less, but meaning more. Holding eye contact. Setting boundaries without apology. That discomfort is feedback. That feedback builds authority. Reading, when done intentionally, trains the mind to stay with complexity without distraction. It slows thinking. It deepens attention. It improves how ideas are formed and expressed. Over time, this shows in how you argue, explain, and decide. The Stoics believed wisdom is trained, not collected. Running teaches endurance without drama. There's no audience. No reward in the moment. Just the decision to continue when stopping would be easier. This builds reliability. You become someone who follows through, even when motivation fades. Reliability earns respect quietly. This hobby removes entitlement. You stop waiting for permission, recognition, or ideal conditions. You focus on producing value. This sharpens discipline and eliminates excuses. Responsibility, once accepted, strengthens identity. Creating forces precision. You must organize thoughts, choose words carefully, and stand behind what you express. This refines judgment and strengthens presence. Even without attention, the practice itself builds discipline. Expression becomes deliberate instead of reactive. This is the one most people skip. It feels awkward because it removes the excuse of personality. You stop saying, "That's just how I am." You stop blaming mood. You stop waiting to feel ready. That's exactly why it works. Here's the rule. Don't collect hobbies. Commit to one. Put it on a schedule. Treat it as training, not preference. Discipline grows through repetition, not intensity. 6 months from now, people will notice something different. Not what you say. How you say it. You won't need to explain. Your presence will do the work. Now I want to hear from you. Comment the one hobby you believe would challenge you the most. Tell me why. Discipline doesn't announce itself. It shows up quietly, every day, until your character speaks for you.